Hey everybody, Bob Farrell. Your back porch with Bob. I want you to look out here. You're literally on the back porch, and this is where we live, out in the woods, outside of Nashville. Pretty cool, huh? And quiet. And I'll tell you something really strange. I wrote this book, I Will Be, and I didn't really have any. I wasn't trying to do a self-help guru thing. I really wasn't. In fact, I was afraid of that. And yet, and then I kind of got cold feet after I wrote it. I had an inspiration for writing the book, and I wrote it pretty quick. And then I got cold feet because I thought, who's going to buy this? Not literally who's going to buy the book, but who's going to buy you being this? But you know what? I had so many friends that kind of came alongside and said, no, man, you need to say these things. Somebody needs to speak out about some mentoring of 20s and something year olds and 30 something year olds and that kind of thing, that I just decided, what the heck, I might as well just, because some of these things are really just precepts and principles that I was raised with. I was raised in the 50s, back when the Fonz was in biz. And because of that, I look at the culture sometimes now and I can't believe what's really going on. It's like, wait a minute, you're forgetting this and you're forgetting that. And somebody needs to remind some people about these things. And so that's why I did it. And I didn't have a real set plan, but I'll tell you something. I really wanted to start a dialogue. I wanted it to be two-way. I don't want this thing here, this back porch with Bob, just to become some sort of old guy's rant or some kind of extended sermon. I just think it needs to be conversational, and I need your input. I'd like your input. I want you to just post on my author page on Facebook. Go like the page, and then underneath these little weekly segments, or maybe even more than weekly, who knows at this point, it'll probably be, some of it might be on Facebook Live. We might go there, depending on how brave all this I become and all this. But I want it to be two-way, because there's things that I spoke to in the book that are good. There are things we need to be reminded of. Some of you may say, well, I already knew that. Well, so what? Then tell somebody else that's having trouble, because people in this life are stuck. It's so easy to get stuck. There's so many things that keep you stuck and work overtime keeping you stuck. Regret, betrayal, lost relationships, loss of self-esteem, loss of a house, loss of a mate, losing a job. There's all kinds of things that can pile up on you. And the life is not fair thing is huge. It's huge. We're not all born into this life the same. Life is like this eating machine going through and just eating people. And sometimes you just go, man, that guy can't take another single thing, and then something else happens to him. Life is not fair. And that's definitely a message. But I got to tell you something. When I talk about chains of regret, just yesterday afternoon, I was driving over into the neighborhood where Jane and I lived, and right up till the bankruptcy in 1998, 9, somewhere in there. It was all coming down. It's just that it took a while to realize you can't fix this issue. And we ended up having to sell our dream home on a mountaintop in Tennessee. And today, of course, those prices and that value, that property is just through the roof. So yesterday I'm driving over, and my grandsons were all jamming over to a friend's house, which was in that neighborhood. And all of a sudden I turned off of Hillsborough Road, and I went, ugh. Before I even I was, still a half a mile away from our property, and I just had, I don't know, like bile coming up in my throat of regret. And yet, I just showed you all back here. And this all came since the flood of 2010, and we moved in here 2012. But we actually own this place. And we own it because of the way God did things. Because of the flood, I got out of debt. I know that's weird, but if you want to read about it, go read When the Rains Fall, which was my first book on Amazon. And it tells the story of how God got me out of debt that I had gotten back into after the bankruptcy, after I told myself I would never be in debt again. So here I am yesterday just driving, tooling along, and then all of a sudden, I feel like I threw up in my mouth, and it was just nothing but regret. So there's always that little voice over here talking in your ear. You failure, you worm, you this, you can't do that. And all that stuff is negativism that just keeps you stuck. It keeps you grounded. All I'm saying is that you don't have to stay stuck. And there's ways to get unstuck and stay unstuck. And some of it's spiritual. It's not all your powers of navigation. And so what I'm hoping to do here in the next, I don't know, maybe this thing will continue onward. It'll depend on whether or not you get involved and give me some, well, here's, because there's obstacles and struggles and dilemmas that you face that I don't face. But I want to speak to them. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to discuss them. I mean, we'll get online and chat with everybody throwing in questions. I mean, I'd love to see it become that, because I've experienced the ups and downs of life that have really thrown me, and sometimes threw me so bad I really was sucking my thumb and curled up on the couch and having a great big pity party. And if that's you, or if you know somebody like that, then I suggest, this is a way for you to talk somebody down off the ledge. Get involved. Make them accountable. Tell them you love them. Forgive somebody for something they did to you that was heinous. I mean, that's part of it. All of this that I'm talking about is part of getting unstuck and going forward, because truthfully, forward progress is everything traveling your little road of life. Okay? So we'll have some more Back Porch with Bob soon, and I'm looking forward to it. Hope to see you here.